Hey guys, good morning. I am coming to you a little late today for our Monday morning show, but I'm here. I actually just worked out. I'm like sitting here in my gross workout clothes, and I just got my first coffee after 21 days, so very exciting. But I am in Los Angeles on a business trip, which is super appropriate for today's topic because I'm going to be talking about how you can balance your time as a work-at-home mom. Time zones, a little tricky. So my West Coast friends who get up early to come join me, I love you guys. You're amazing. Thank you for always getting up, because I was like, oh, I'd have to be ready to do this like an hour and a half ago, and I was not ready. But I paused, I got my workout in, and now I am here. So if you're here and you can hear me, let me make sure I can see comments. Just give me a hey, because I am on my phone today, a little bit different. I got this out, some more work-at-home mom things. I got this fun little portable light. It's gonna be bright from the Five and Below, so that I can do my videos on the road, which again is another thing I'll talk about when it comes to being a work-at-home mom and what you're getting done. Hey CJ, how are you today? Let me just pull up any comments, and let's jump on in. So I don't know if you're a work-at-home mom or not, but I know that these time management tips that I'm going to talk about today can really work for any job, no matter what you have. I've been a work-at-home mom now for a few years. I was a school teacher for 8 years, and I absolutely love it, but then I completely burned out. I was done. I wasn't seeing my family. It was exhausting, and I thought I need something else. So I got into business via network marketing. I was working with Beachbody. I absolutely love the products. I had lost 70 pounds on my own, like with the products before, like I even had kids. I was like, this is great. So I said to my husband, I think I want to do this. I think I want to make this a thing where this is my job and this is what I do. And I did it. So after a year, I definitely hustled, which I don't fully believe in all the time, that hustle mentality, but I did. I grinded and I got it done. I replaced my teaching income within a year and a half, and I was able to leave teaching and solely working with Beachbody. I transitioned then, though, and I started to work 40 hours a week with Beachbody because I was so used to working 60 hours a week. So 40 felt like nothing to me, but I was burning out again. And I found myself just like constantly on the hustle and the work. And I decided to try to pivot. And so it was only 2 years ago, just 2, that God put on my heart to change over and pivot to a purpose-driven mom. People ask me all the time, like, how long have you been doing a purpose-driven mom? Y'all, only 2 years. Like, this is still a baby. Like, APDM is like in its infancy and growth stages right now. And the first year, I was like throwing spaghetti at a wall. I had a new baby. Y'all, I built my website nursing my son when he was 2 weeks old on a boppy, like at 2 a.m., like reaching over the computer to type. Like, that is how I built my business. So year 1 was kind of a whole fun little mess. So if you've been here since year 1, thank you for sticking on, because it was just, I was writing about everything. I was doing everything. I was like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I feel God pulling me to impact moms differently. It wasn't until 2019, last year, that I really found clarity on teaching overwhelmed mom systems and routines to feel less stressed out, to manage their own time so they can go after their goals. That is my hope, is that I can teach productivity tips and routines to moms so they can manage their day, get to the end of the day and say, I can do something for me now, or during the day. And so that is kind of my work-at-home mom story. But I'm going to tell you, it is not easy. Being a work-at-home mom is one of the toughest jobs to have, because you're trying to do it all, and until you switch from that regular, like, I can do it all mentality to like, I'm a business owner or I'm working from home. I know there's so many different jobs between like transcription and teaching and like things you can do at your house, like whatever it is. Until I had those boundaries, well, heck, I like wasn't set up for success at all. Does anyone else work from home? Do we have any other work-at-home moms on live? Hey, Amanda, how are you? I'm going to give some strategies to what I do to work at home to make it work for me. So you guys see, I'm here. I'm on a business trip. I haven't gone on a business trip for my blog yet. This is the first one, which is very exciting. And that's part of it. As a busy mom, like I can't say yes to every opportunity that comes for me to travel, because it's challenging. I have my mom sleeping over, my mother-in-law's coming. Everyone's got to shuffle the kids' places. And that's one of the things that you need to realize, like for work at home moms, it's just different, because your expectations are different. The expectations for a work-at-home mom are different than moms working out of the house sometimes, because they are still expected to maintain the home, to do the dishes and the laundry and take care of the children, and at the same time work their business. And that's where the lines can get a little muddy. Like, by creating boundaries around your schedule, that is my first tip today, you can have more success. So what do I mean by boundaries? My kids go to school 9 to 12, Monday through Friday, and that is work time for me. That is not time that I, like, okay, the other day I did go out shopping with a friend to get ready for the trip, but that is not a time that I do any of that typically. I don't run my errands. I don't pick up my phone. I keep my phone. I actually am not often on social media between 9 and 12 because I keep my phone like flipped upside down, like put on the table so that I'm not tempted. Even if my mom calls, I don't call her back until out of my work hours. I do not pick up the phone. And that was a huge boundary issue for me because I was trying to do it all. I was trying to like answer the calls and run the errands and then, oh, it's time. Oh, look, we're home from school. Breakfast is still on the table. I've got to clean up the dishes. No. If you're working from home, you need to designate work hours. All right? That's like very first step. And I want you to communicate with your stakeholders. Like, hey, this is the time that I work. I had to say to my mom, between 9 and 12 every single day, like pretend like I'm at an office, I'm working, I can't pick up the phone, I'll call you back as soon as I can. And I've said to my husband a few times, like between 9 and 12, that's my work time, so I'm probably not doing house stuff if he's been home, and he doesn't care. But I just sometimes think that you need to say it to yourself. Like, you're working right now, it is okay that the pile of dishes is still there. It is okay that the laundry is not folded, okay? So create those boundaries. Now, I will say that, yes, I have work hours. And I'm very diligent about what I'm doing during those work hours. That's not time I'm talking to people on Facebook. I'm typically doing videos or I'm working on content for the podcast, stuff that I can't do when my kids are around. When my kids are around, I can't record. I can't write. My head isn't in that zone. So what I did was I went through and I made a list of all the things that I can do when my kids are around and the things I can do when they're not around. And I pre-assign and created a batching system. So a lot of people are like, how do you get it done? Well, on Mondays, that's when I record podcasts. And on Tuesdays, that's when I write emails. And on Wednesdays, that's when I might outline the next month's podcast, okay? So I do the things that I can only do, and I decide in advance what it is. And I work in advance. So right now, every single Monday morning live, I've already gone through for the first quarter of the year. I spent one day, a whole 3-hour chunk, and I outlined every single one of them so I can tell you all the topics. Now, this helped too because I hired a virtual assistant, and so I have to be on top of it for her to do her job, which is uploading it to YouTube and all that. So I went through and I spent the entire 3-hour span I had. I wrote an outline, which is what I'm looking at now. Here, I'll show you. I'm on my phone today so I can show you. This is my outline for it. I've got the YouTube description, what is the IGTV caption, the hashtags, Pinterest, the whole thing. And this is called ClickUp if you work at home. I've already got the entire quarter outlined, okay? So people might be like, oh my God, that's like so much work. It took me 3 hours, but now the quarter's done. So this morning, I'm away on vacation. We just went to get coffee. I was at the coffee shop. I was like, let me pull up my outline because I wasn't sure what I was writing about. So I want to encourage you to create a batching system where you do things like that to get ahead. I've already recorded almost every, I've got 3 more interviews to record. But my solo podcast episodes, I've recorded them all. I do them in the beginning of the quarter, or if I can be really good, I try to do them before the quarter starts so that they're done. So that during the quarter, I'm not working in my business trying to get it all done. I get to work on my business. I get to build projects, okay? So create a batching system. If you have a job where you're doing transcriptions, see if there's a way that you can schedule your days where you do this part on Monday and this part on Tuesday. As much as I like to teach you guys to use your time pockets, we are 100% more efficient when we're batching, okay? So create your boundaries for others and yourselves, and then create a system where you pre-plan out and tell yourself what you're going to be doing during those hours that are protected, where you're not doing the laundry, where you're not doing a bunch of things, and then work on one task during that time if possible. Now, I know that a lot of you who work at home do not have designated work hours. That was my first year with APDM. Ari was at school, but Isaiah was home full time. So I did not have this time to work my business in 2018. So what I did instead was, or even the first half of 2019, he didn't start going to school till September. So what I would do is I would work in the pockets, okay? I would create a list in advance. I would use my 15-minute formula, and I would create a list of what are the things that I can do when my kids are around. So these are things that, if they're playing outside, I can bring my laptop outside. I don't have to, be on top of them. I can create images. So I can sit and batch out Pinterest images for the quarter and get all those done, because I can stop creating an image mid-image, get up, go play with them, blow the bubbles, come back, right? I can answer emails, things like that. So what I recommend you do is you create a list. What are some things that you can do while they are around that doesn't take 100% of your attention and your brain power, all right? And so I went through and I created those, and I have those, I call those my in-the-pocket times. So if we have an afternoon where they're playing in the other room and I'm not doing my mom stuff, and I'm like, oh, you know what, let me batch out these images, I already know what it is because it eliminates the decision fatigue. You guys know I like to talk about pre-planning everything so that you're not thinking what am I going to do? Where am I at, right? You lose so much mental space in deciding. So if you spend time at the beginning of the week deciding in advance, like, this is it. When I have time, when the kids are doing their playtime together, I'm going to go through and that's when I'm going to empty my inbox. So like, I get to my DMs when I give my kids a bath. Like, that's just a system I've made. I wash them up, they take their bath, and then while they're like splashing and making a huge mess, I'm sitting there on my DMs. That's what and you'll notice it now if I get back to you on DMs, typically around 6:30, every other day. Like, that's just how it has to be. So pre-plan, you can use my 15-minute formula to like pre-plan it and determine in advance what you're going to do in those pockets, because the pockets they'll go like that. But if I have an extra 10 minutes, and I can get in 10 minutes of emails, I'll put it on a timer and I'll do it. Now, the one thing with me this year is I'm trying not to always be working, always having my computer up. But now that I have designated work hours, it's not as bad. But if you're still in this baby stage of your business and you're trying to figure out, like, how do I get it done? Like, how can I do it in the pockets? It's totally doable, but you have to be intentional. You have to pre-plan what you're going to do, and then you can get it done. The other time that I work is when my kids go to bed. So that's always like a good time for us moms to get working. But again, we're tired at the end of the day. Pre-plan what you're going to do. So then when it comes to 8 o'clock and the kids are in bed, you're not like, oh, I really want to go watch this TV show. I really want to do this. I do my evening routine, clean up do my mom stuff, close up shop, and then I probably, right now I do a lot of calls, coaching calls and stuff. So right now I typically do calls at the end of the night. I was trying to get in writing, and sometimes I had to do it when I didn't have my morning block to write blog posts or nap time or anything like that. Like, I had to do it at night, but I'm not like in the best zone for me. So I now do my coaching calls at night, which is I'm in the best zone to do that at the end of the day. So redetermine your time blocks, when you work the best and what tasks, create boundaries for other people in your life and yourself, and pre-plan what you're going to do. This will eliminate time wasters. This will let you get more done, and this will help you get there. So right now, what I'm going to encourage you to do is create an inventory of how you're spending your time right now if you're a work-at-home mom. Write all of it down and how much time it's taking you. Then you can pre-plan those tasks out and batch them for next week. So do this week. Just do a time inventory, see how much time you're spending, and then create a really good schedule for you for next week and what your optimal work time is. Okay? Like, imagine actually working on your business and not in your business constantly, just trying to get more done and get more done and get more done and always being on your phone, being a real business owner and growing whatever work at home job that you have. Okay? I'm going to put a link in the comments when I get off. It's how to schedule your day as a work at home mom if you want to read the transcription of a blog post that I wrote about this. Otherwise, if you're a work at home mom, I would love to hear what you do. And if you do this week and you do an inventory on your time, tag me on Instagram. I'm at a Purpose Driven Mom. I would love to see it. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. I'm going to go get ready for the day, enjoy my sessions in California, and I will see you soon.